It's called Trips for Kids.
Looking good, guys.
The basic idea is to take disadvantaged or at-risk children mountain biking and introduce them to the natural world.
Many of them had never been out of the city, never had a chance to do this. One kid had never eaten an orange, kids that have never seen deer, never been out of just a concrete setting.
Trips for Kids is the brainchild of avid bicyclist Marilyn Price.
And one day I was just biking up on Tam and I looked across at the city and thought, wow, it would be neat to bring some kids who couldn't have this experience and be able to share it with me. My next thought was, I can't do that.
But she did. Marilyn started Trips for Kids out of her house in 1988 with 10 donated bikes. Now the organization owns a building, rents a large warehouse, and has 22 chapters around the country.
Maggie, I'm going to guess, is about a 13 or a 14, so that's probably going to be this bike right here.
A typical outing begins at the San Rafael warehouse, where everybody gets fitted with bikes and helmets. The van is loaded, and the group heads off to a trail. Today, they'll ride through Tennessee Valley in southern Marin County.
In order for us as a cohesive group to get down the trail and back without injuries, without hurting somebody else.
Before the ride begins, trip leader Patchen Homitz gives a safety talk.
Riding as a group, you're never going to be very far from your partner.
The kids are partnered with volunteers, one volunteer for every 1 or 2 kids. This particular trip is part of a summer program for kids entering high school who struggled through middle school.
Their grades weren't great, suspensions, detentions, that kind of thing.
If I wasn't in a program like this, I would probably just be sitting on the couch, not doing much, and it's good that there was a program, and at first I was skeptical because I wanted to sit on the couch.
Maggie is riding on a trail for the very first time. It's an eye-opening experience that's bringing all the kids closer to nature, and they're having fun while they're at it.
At the beginning of the day, they come out of their van, and they're sort of fronting you a little bit. They're like, yeah, you can't impress me. This isn't going to be fun. I'm gonna hate this, sort of. And you hook them up with a partner, and after a little while, just talking to them about their what's your favorite music radio station, that kind of thing, and you ride for a little bit, you jump off a little rock, you see them sort of mimic, and they lose that shell, that tough shell. Don't shift, Cameron. Keep it in that really easy gear. That's great.
The main trail at Tennessee Valley leads past a lovely pond, straight out to the ocean. Start to finish, it's less than 1.5 miles long. After a break for lunch,
look at the flowers, you guys.
Marilyn leads the group on a short but steep hike and some exploration at the beach, where the atmosphere is definitely relaxed.
We're too busy singing. Here you have your buddy who you're riding with all day, down to the beach and on the sand and everything. I think that breaks down some of those adult kid barriers that some of these at-risk kids have, and I'm hoping that it'll change their attitude towards school when they go back when summer's over.
Marilyn hopes the kids take away lessons they can apply to all aspects of their lives.
I ran the trips for 10 years, and they're not doing it quite as much now, but I used to take the kids up some pretty rugged hills, and at the end I would have them look back and take a look at that hill up there, and can you believe that all by yourself you just went to the top of that hill? And it's like they look and wow, I really did this.
At the end of the day, everyone gathers for what's called a cookie circle.
I'm going to start with Ross. He gets to take a cookie or not, or just keep him in front of him, and then we want to hear one thing you liked and one thing you learned.
Okay, I like going down the big hill. I didn't stop.
Put your hands away.
Yeah, I learned you can use your brakes without skidding.
I like that we were outside and we got to work because it was a lot of fun doing an activity like this, and I learned a lot about biking that I didn't know, like safety and everything.
I like that it wasn't as hard of a ride as I thought it was going to be, and I learned not to shift more than one gear at a time, otherwise bad things will happen.
Well, I like being with you all. It was a real pleasure. You guys were absolutely terrific the whole day. I did not hear a single complaint.
The bike rides are only part of the program at Trips for Kids. The warehouse in San Rafael's Canal District is a workshop where kids can learn how to fix bikes.
And then there has to be no gap in here.
And they can earn credits toward getting their own bikes or parts.
I'm gonna put a new shifting cable.
There's even a computer anatomy course. As they learn about motherboards and hard drives, kids earn credits toward a computer of their own.
There you go. Cool.
And nearby, in downtown San Rafael, we can all visit Trips for Kids thrift store, the Recyclery, for bikes, parts, and even clothing, all donated by individuals and bike companies. More than 40% of Trips for Kids expenses are covered by the Recyclery sales.
You never know what you can do until you try.
Meanwhile, Trips for Kids continues to touch the lives of thousands of children and of volunteers, such as Paul Ippolito.
This program challenges kids' belief systems. It forces them to try and do something maybe they think they couldn't do, and I think that's great. I want to be part of that.
Trips for Kids offices, workshop, and the Recyclery are located in San Rafael. Tennessee Valley, where we went riding, is right next to Mill Valley, about 10 minutes north of the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's part of the Golden Gate National Recreation Area.